Right. Now, it's worth mentioning, I was introduced to Lorenzo, or at the time known as Zurachi, through that particular content. So I kind of feel like this is a good jumping point, if you will. Would
Yeah.
you care to talk about what your thought process was when changing your channel name and rebranding and kind of heading towards a different direction on YouTube in general?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess starting with the game reviews and top tens themselves, that kind of content, or I originally did not even plan to do long term, like even as like much as like 3 videos. Because here's what happened: I started my channel in 2012 just for fun, with the original intention of just doing a few videos and that's it. But when I believe it was my 3rd video, top 10 SNES video games, that video just blew up because it was actually Jimmy Wetzel and Balrog that discovered my channel. And this was back when YouTube likes actually worked. They liked my video and it sent my video to all of their subscribers, and my channel blew up from literally 10 subscribers to 800.
Right. I remember
in a span of like a day.
Yeah, they had a system to where all of your liked videos would appear on your channel page, right? So I felt like liking videos was like a big network, bigger than it is now.
Yeah, like back then, like it would just send it to everyone's front page. That's always the first thing you saw, was like what other creators would like.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. I would discover a lot of people through like likes page on the actual channel. I didn't realize they would recommend it specifically because another creator liked that. That's definitely not something that happens these days. At least I doubt it.
Yeah, so big channels had a lot of power back then.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I discovered so many channels, and like you said, around that kind of community with Balrog and Jimmy Wetzel and stuff like that, just through like finding the liked videos on people's specific channels. Nowadays, when you leave a like, it just a number appears on the video, which is cool, but it's buried in some playlist that no one would probably search through that gets like thousands and thousands of videos, you know. It's definitely not the same effect as it used to. Would you like to explain a little bit as to like the change to your actual name specifically and kind of your move towards... I mean, you still do have gaming involvement, right? You still do work a little bit with game music, but you could explain just where your direction is right now with regards to music?
Yeah, sure. So going with the name, after 3 years and starting to think about coming back to my channel, I completely felt a big disconnect with the name Zurachi because it didn't feel like me anymore. I didn't connect to that version of myself anymore. Not to mention, I'm 31 now. I don't know why I want to continue using a name that I came up with when I was playing World of Warcraft. So there's also that. Also, in the world of music, typically, it's fine if you go under an alias, but typically you're taken a bit more seriously if you just use your name instead of meeting other musicians being like, hey, I'm Zurachi, hey.
Right.
Like, ultimately, when I use my own name, there's a lot more accountability that ties into that too. So if I put something out, I better be really proud of what I put out. Like, it can't be something that's just half-baked.
Right. And do you feel with like Zurachi, it kind of felt like because you're under this alias, you're not only more confined to like gaming stuff or whatever you built your brand off of, but do you also feel like you almost couldn't fully express yourself because you weren't branding yourself as yourself, thus feeling like their deepest of projects or whatnot, you just couldn't really associate with the Zurachi name?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing I even felt while I was still making game reviews and top tens. I felt a little like creatively trapped, if you know what I mean, because there was, as I was creating more and more content, I started to get more of a desire to create music a lot more, but I was kind of scared to integrate that content into my channel because that's not what a lot of people subscribed for. So I felt like I was kind of forced to continue creating game reviews and top tens, even when I reached the point where I fell in love out of creating that content.
Sure, of course. Do you feel like at the time, that sort of more gaming centric top tens and stuff like that, do you feel like that was kind of performing better than original music as well? Or do you think original music also had a pretty big standing?
Yeah, especially in the gaming field, like those top 10s and game reviews really reached out to a lot of people back then.
Right.
So if anything, like doing music on its own would just be more of like a passion project than something to get views.
Hey there. You just watched a clip from my creative podcast. If you'd like to check out the full episode, you can support me over on Patreon. And if not, you can subscribe to check out more clips coming here soon.